Season 4, Episode 5 of Invincible was incredible. It gave us emotional depth, character interactions, and scenes that I've been waiting on for seasons, and chaotic balls to the wall action, bruh. Mark locked in this episode in a way I absolutely love to see, both in how he handled his conversations with Nolan and the rest of his family, but most importantly, the absolute grit he showed in combat, bruh. Like, his showing this episode portrayed his indomitable willpower in probably the most raw and gruesome spectacle yet, and that's saying something. But what I want to talk about in this video is Oliver. Personally, he was a standout in this episode for me. I'm seeing a lot of people saying he shouldn't be here, he's a liability, Mark and Debbie should have tried harder to get him to stay, Nolan was right, etc. And you know, that's all valid. It probably would be a much smarter decision to keep Oliver on Earth, far away from the war. But I'm not going to argue whether he should be there, but rather I'm going to argue that he has a right to be there. See, I completely understand why Mark and Debbie relented after Oliver said his piece. Right, when he brings up his dead mother, Indressa, there's really nothing you could say to that. I was watching that whole scene and listening to him justify going, and I wanted so badly to say he's wrong, but I couldn't. He had solid points. Once he brings up Thraxa, it shut everybody up. He made sense. Viltrumites massacred his people. Just like how Omni-Man and Conquest killed so many on Earth, it's all even more devastating to Thraxans because the time it takes to rebuild after something like that, it takes up more of their lifetime, possibly multiple lifetimes. Nolan has no right to control Oliver because he was the reason for all of it. His decision to mate with Indressa and live on Thraxa was incoherent, inconceivably irresponsible. Not only did it condemn their planet, but it condemned Oliver to a life without a mother. And while he obviously didn't want it to play out this way, Nolan's actions left him absent from Oliver's childhood. Oliver is forced to live a not normal life on Earth. He can't go to school, he ages beyond any friends he makes, and he's been working non-stop as a superhero since he's a kid. As a kid. Maybe Nolan was trying to preserve his childhood by alienating him, but the damage has already been done.
Nigga, that's crazy, but I don't remember asking.
He's never had the luxury of living a normal childhood like Mark got. And it's his fault. It's Nolan's fault. He can't even give Oliver the courtesy of an apology. Not even a hug.
You hate on a nigga. I don't understand why you hate on me, nigga.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing
nigga.
is getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.
Wabbly dabbly.
Niggas out here don't love me, nigga.
Oliver has a right to be there, right? Nolan was right to be concerned with Oliver's safety, but like a lot of his decisions in this show, he was also very wrong in his decision, especially regarding abandoning him even more, like not even going to say hello. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is the first time you see your son since he's a baby and you can't even say hi. Once he's on the ship and he's seeing him for the first time since he's old enough to talk, and you can't even give him the courtesy of a hello. He couldn't even address him directly. He just told Mark he has to go. Like, that's cold, man. You could have led with a hug, or I don't know, something. Let your son know, like, indicate that you're happy to see him, right? Even if you want him to leave and you're concerned for his safety, let him know that, right? Like what? That's so foul, dude.
Let's come here. Shut your stupid ass up.
But let's not sugarcoat it. Oliver was way out of his league out there. Mark and Nolan were taking turns saving his life out there. There were multiple moments where he almost died if it weren't for the intervention of, Omni-Man and Mark. Twice with Conquest and once with Lucan.
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
He really needs to understand that there's levels to this. Charging straight ahead at Conquest off rip was a brain dead decision, dog. Like, it's like when you're gaming, bro, you're playing battle royale like Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone or Apex, and your teammate pushes alone and gets down, and he's like, he's one tap, but then you shoot him for 200 damage and he's still standing. Like, all right, buddy, stop
the cap.
Stop the cap. But I'll be honest, Oliver showed some good moments in there, right? He had some moments of strength against both Conquest and Lucan. Like, he's clearly stronger and a better fighter than last season. He's probably on par with like season 1 Mark at this point. And he can only get stronger, especially considering his fast aging and how long this arc might last. I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. Mark has only gotten stronger because he kept fighting against stronger and stronger opponents. He had to get his ass beat to get stronger multiple times, like, to even realize how strong he needs to be. Fighting against viltrumites is a core part of Mark's growth as a fighter. Fighting against Omni-Man, Lucan, Thula, Anissa, Conquest, all of these encounters broke his body physically, but all of these encounters made him so much stronger. Oliver is gonna need that, and if he can stay alive out there in this war, he can be a great asset. He will be a great asset. Let's be honest. They were ambushed, right? And they didn't have a strategy. If they were going into this encounter with the strategy, right, if this was with some strategic combat plans in place, Oliver will be great in battle. If they like think about a hypothetical situation where this fight plays out, where if they had him, Oliver, and Tech Jacket in more of a support role, taking care of the other weaker aliens that were just shooting with their guns, whatever. If they were just in a support role, taking care of the auxiliary threats and then helping out every now and then with the other 3 as they take on their 1v1s with the viltrumites, that would have been a much easier fight. We just had Mark, Nolan, and Alan take on the 3 viltrumites and then have them kind of supporting. It would have been a much easier fight. But it is what it is. Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about here. There's several things from this episode alone that I could make a video on, and maybe I will. Like, obviously the Nolan and Debbie scene, that was a doozy. Nolan and Art, Mark showing that he's an absolute boss, and Tech Jacket, to name a few. By the way, does anybody notice how every time the show gender bends a hero, it's in service of giving someone else a love interest? Right, first with Shrinking Ray and Rex, and now with Oliver and Zoe. I don't know, bruh. What is it? If I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it is kind of weird that it happened twice. But anyway, I really hope I convinced you that Oliver belongs here. Take care. I'm out.
Fuck them little kids.
It came with my own personal Farnsworth Benz. Pretty bitch with some perky titties. I heard your cheese tighter than Virgin Kitty. But that's besides the point. If I point, you won't catch a hollow point. Product of choice, God got moist. You seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Try me, I will be delighted to pop your bubble. Might even get your wifey a couple in the thigh muscle. I chuckle. You know my body, quality over quantity. You couldn't possibly made another quantum leap. Top of the heap, ask my colleagues.